Hey people,
Hello.
Scott and Vay with the Losing Bago. Guess we're going to get hit with a pillow.
Getting beat up by pillows. Beat up by pillows. There you go. Anyway.
So, back to the New York trip.
Yes. Part 2 of the New York trip.
Yeah. So, me and Rudy, we didn't have no money. You know, we pretty much spent everything we had the very first night. Yeah, because we're kids. You know, we're idiots. And you know, we're a couple of teenagers with big chips on our shoulders, thinking we were the shit. You know. So, we spent a few days selling pickles and eating damn near nothing but pickles. We ended up our first day going up to that farmer's market and like meeting Jay's mom and getting our jobs there and all of that. We pull up, we get out of the car, and we walk about 10 feet. And this homeless black guy with this broken camera, it's got no lens, it's got no back on it, it's just part of a camera he found in the street somewhere. Like, it's literally a half a camera. He walks up to us and he goes, click. If we give him $5, he'll send us the pictures in the mail. As a souvenir of our trip to New York, he noticed we had out-of-state plates. And me and Rudy are sitting there, we're looking at each other, we're like, dude, that's not a real camera. And you said click. Like, the camera didn't click. You literally said click. We know damn well you didn't take a picture. I'm sorry, but I'm not going to give you my address for a picture that doesn't exist.
Or money.
But if I had $5, I'd give you that $5 because that was funny as shit, bro. Like, but like we were flat broke. We had nothing to give him other than like a kudos because that shit was funny. Like, so we go on and we get our job at the pickle stand, and we're there for like the day, and we go around and we check out all the other vendors in the place, and we meet a few of them. There's this one guy, Papa Lou, who's like all he did was sell socks. This friggin' guy drove a Cadillac. He had like 3 different Cadillacs, like for whatever friggin' mood he was in. You know, he had this one big old black one, he had this silver one, he had like a bronze one. This guy lived in a big old mansion, and all he did was sell socks at a farmer's market.
Yeah, I don't know if I'd buy that.
Yeah, that was Papa Lou. So, like,
I don't buy that there, honey.
I know. Papa Lou was a character. And that's about all I can say about Papa Lou. So, we got to meet all the people and all that. It was a bagel place that gave me and Rudy this thing of like day old bagels. And when I say day old, I don't mean like day old. I mean like 3 or 4 day old bagels. Because like they would keep all their old ones and bust them up and turn it into like bird food. Because when old people would come in, get coffee and their bagel in the morning, like the bagel shop would have these bags of like just old crumbled up, you know, bagels and different breads and stuff. The old people would go out and feed it to the pigeons. It's like one of the things that they did so that like, you know, they just gave it away free to anybody that bought anything. You know, pigeon food. So, they gave me and Rudy a big old shopping bag full of these old hard bagels. So, we had that going for us. We had this big old friggin' grocery bag full of hard bagels. They were hard the day we got them. 3-4 days in, though, those bagels were weapons, man. They weren't edible anymore. They were just so hard that it was just like we had fun throwing them at each other, you know, in the car. Like, then Rudy started getting upset because he was afraid somebody was going to break a window. Because they were brutal. So we had been living on nothing but pickles and friggin' bagels. And you can only stomach so many freaking pickles. Like, good grief. We got up enough to go over and get a friggin' A burger each at White Castle one day. On like day 5 or 6. And it's like, those little slider burgers are so tiny. But we took like 10 minutes eating them damn things. Because it was like, that was like the only meat you were going to get. So it was like, you didn't want to just inhale it. By the time the second week came around, we raided Jay's refrigerator. Which was sad. Because like, all we could come up with was like, there was a loaf of bologna. There was this like Polish cake. And there was some mustard. So we cut off some big old chunks of bologna. We cut some of that friggin' dry ass Polish cake. We smacked some mustard on there and smushed it together. We called it a bologna cake witch.
Bologna cake witch.
Disgusting as all get out. It was the nastiest freaking sandwich ever. Don't do it. It's not recommended.
Warning, do not try this at home.
Yeah, you don't want to eat that. There was that, and there was some kimchi in that refrigerator. And like, that kimchi to me came out of the bowels of hell. Like, I didn't want nothing to do with that stuff. So I wasn't touching it. Like, it didn't smell like food. No. Mm-mm. So I wasn't going there. Like, we literally just stuck with the frickin' pickles and bagels. Like, the whole damn 2 weeks we were up there. But, so we go out. And, you know, I've got pretty long hair. It comes down to my ribs. Like, the bottom of my rib cage. Like, Rudy had long hair. It was, like, down, like, past his butt. Like, he had long hair. So, I mean, like, we looked the part. Jay had long hair. And we got all dressed up. Got clean. Got all ready to go out for the night. And we go pick up Jay's girlfriend so that she can help get us into the bar. So, okay. Because apparently, like, she used to date one of the bouncers or whatever. So, okay. Because you gotta remember, I was 16, Rudy's 18, Jay's probably like 19. But, like, none of us are bar age. Like none of us had ID that could get in. So, we had to play the freaking Rockstar card. Just act like we're a well-known enough band that we can just, like, skate right on through. And that crap actually worked. So, we go up there. We go up to the Limelight. And there's a friggin' line that goes all the way down the block and around the building. And all the way down that block. We weren't about to wait no damn line like that. So, we park. We come across the street right up to the front doors. We walk right past the friggin' crowd. Go up. And we're hoping that, like, Jay's girl could get us in. You know? One of the friggin' guys that was working the door also worked security over at the friggin' World Stage. He saw me and Rudy and he was like, oh, they're VIP. And they just opened up the friggin' doors and let us just walk straight right on through. Because they had already seen us hanging out with the owner of the other friggin' club. So, that worked out great. So here we are in the Limelight, which is this Gothic-style antique church in New York City that they bought and turned into this club. Like, it was one of the coolest clubs that you'd ever hope to ever come across. Like, the architecture in that place was just great. And especially for a club. Like, the acoustics in that place is friggin' awesome. Like, it was so cool. So, it's got several different bars going on in it. It's got different levels, different rooms. Like, the Limelight was a huge place. Now, I was always a little bit more, streetwise and a little more, of a bad kid than Rudy. So, like, I kind of fit in there a little more than Rudy or Jay did. It was just funny because I was younger than both of them. But, like, we go in there and, like, I just start flirting, you know? And we got a few drinks that were just given to us. And that was cool, you know? And we're walking around, mingling, talking to people and whatnot. And I started talking to some of like the staff and like some of the like DJs and whatnot. I lose track of what's going on with Rudy and Jay, but it's all right. Last time I talked to Rudy, he was sitting at the bar talking to this really cute friggin' like older blonde. So I was like, all right, the boys are doing all right. So I'm off being me. And at that age, that was like pretty much any trouble I could get into, I was down, you know? So that was the first night I did DMT, MEO5. And like, Limelight back in the day was like the rave spot in New York. It's like one of the #1 rave spots. So at that point, I'm tripping balls. I had already done shrooms and I had already done LSD prior to this, but I wasn't quite ready for MEO5. I didn't know what to expect. I didn't know, but I didn't care because, like, again, I had that chip on my shoulder that's about the size of a friggin' telephone pole. And if other humans have been able to do, been able to do it before me, then I'm fine. Like, I've always had that, like, that ego problem where, like, I'm good. So the girl came around with this tray, and I was just like, yo, hold up. That was a bad move on my part. I can look back on it now and go, maybe that, like, one dose, it's probably even a bad idea. 2 doses, a really bad idea. And 3 doses, you're a fucking idiot. Well, I'm a fucking idiot, okay? With that being said, we all know this already, so we can move past it. So I'm walking around that place, like, I'm looking at everything, like a crazy person, you know, because, like, the fucking light trails, just people walking by were leaving trails, like, I was so gone that it was kind of, like, it's funny to me, but, like, this place was awesome. They had a maze, like a fun house maze, to get to the bathroom that was as big as some small bars. Like, you could get lost in that friggin' maze and get stuck there for like a half hour or more, just trying to find your way back out the door you came in. Like, why they had it set up like that, Who knows? But
maybe they just thought it was a good idea to go mess around with drunk
screwing
people.
with people. Like,
Yeah, get through a full maze before you can go pee.
yeah.
Then you gotta find your way back out.
Yeah. But down on one of the lower levels, they had like this whole little marketplace going on where they had little vendors set up with like little homemade like necklaces and bracelets and different jewelry. They had some set up that had like scarves and like just all kinds of different stuff, man. Like handmade purses and all kinds of crap. So we're down there wandering around checking shit out, me and Rudy, and we come across Jay. And Jay's hammered. Jay's hammered. And I'm looking. I'm like, yo, Rudy, help me out here, bro. Like, I'm not sure what I'm looking at. Now, you gotta remember, I was already 3 sheets to the wind before I started doing any drugs that night. So, like, I wasn't sure whether my eyes were telling me the truth or not. Like, so I'm just sitting here looking. I'm like, Rudy, help me out, bro. What's Jay doing? Rudy's like sitting there looking. He's like, he's hooking up with that chick. I was like, all right, I need your help, bro. Is that a chick? Rudy's like, what? He's like, starts looking. He's like, I don't know. Because I got bad eyes. And Rudy wears glasses, but he wasn't wearing them that night because, you know, he wants to, like, look his best. He doesn't want to wear his glasses. I get that. So we're both, like, half fucking blind anyway. We're sitting here looking, and we're like, that's one peculiar looking woman. Like, so this chick is wearing red from head to toe. Red little hat with like little red veil that's coming off of the hat. Red glasses. Red friggin' scarf. Red outfit. Red dress. Red pantyhose. Red shoes. Like, red. Not breaking it up anywhere. Just all red. So she's, again, she stood out. So we're like, well, go over. Go over and see if he's good. See if he's all right. Rudy's looking at me like, yo, fuck you, bro. You go. I'm like, yo, dude, he's in your grade. You knew him longer. You go. And he's like, dude, screw you. You go. I'm like, oh, man. What the hell? Finally, we're just like, all right. Let's go get some beers, and we'll go over and bring him a beer. All right. So we had to go scam some beers off of some chicks so that we could go, you know, bring Jay a beer and try to figure out what's going on over there. So we get the beers, we come on back over and going up to him. And we walk up there and he's making out with this chick. So we're like, Jay looks up. He's like, yo, get the fuck out of here. We're like, mm-mm, mm-mm, mm-mm. Jay, yo, bro, hey, bro, have a beer. He's like, dude, get out of here. We're like, why don't you introduce us? Jay's getting frustrated, you know? So, he can tell that we're not leaving. So, he's like, ugh. I'm sorry, what was your name? And she says, Redhead. And he's like, there. Her name's Edith. He was like, no, my name's Ed. And that's when it hit Jay that this was a dude. And you could see it washing over his face. And Jay's like, wait, what? Jay stood up with such righteous indignation and was like he just sobered up real quick. He put that beer down. He was like, we're leaving. And Jay goes marching the frig out, just straight the frig out the friggin' building. Me and Rudy look at each other and we start dying laughing. We're friggin' losing it. We're laughing our asses off. Totally forgot Red Ed is still sitting there. Like, Red Ed gets up all offended and all pissed off and was like, excuse me. Goes past me and Rudy, and Red Ed standing up like, I'm 6'1" and like 3/4, like almost 6'2". Red Ed's taller than me. And he like pushes past us like all huffy and puffy and goes like prancing off with little click-clack heels on. Me and Rudy fucking lose it. We're rolling, alright? I am literally dying there. Like, I couldn't catch my breath. I'm on the floor holding my frickin' liver and my kidneys. I'm just like, I'm done. I'm laughing so friggin' hard. Like, it got to the point where, like, a couple of the friggin', like, staff came over to check on the two of us. Because, like, they weren't sure if we were okay. And we were like, no, we're good. We're good. Yo, Jay, I'm sorry I'm telling this story, bro. Love you, brother. So anyway, we end up leaving the limelight. Jay is so bent out of shape. He's like, yo, we're never talking about this again. Me and Rudy were like, dude, we're never going to stop talking about this. You better get used to that right now. Sorry, man, but, like, we'll give you, like, 10 minutes of silent time. But then we're fucking you up. We're just going to screw with shit hardcore. Dude, he was so bent out of shape. He kicked us out of the car, like, 6 times on the way back to the apartment that night. It was friggin' hilarious. We're... Hey. And that was just the second night we were there. That was literally the second night that, like, we were out screwing around. New York was a fun trip. Anyway, we're at 30, so that's a good spot to cut it.
Yes, we need to get going.
Again, all apologies to Rudy and Jay. Sorry, brothers, but yeah. I'm keeping enough details out. Love yous. To everybody else, love you guys. Thank you for the views, the comments, just everything. We love you guys. And later.
Later.